Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's really a pleasure to be here. I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to this meeting. And you see the title, the story of Israel's economic miracle, and mainly this miracle was possible because of the innovation process. Actually, the Financial Times last month, on the 13th of September, wrote a very interesting article called Israel, an Innovation Gem in Europe's Backyard. And the article is mainly goes about the possibilities of cooperation with Israel in research and development. And the main issue, they say that Israel is after the Silicon Valley, is actually number 2 in the world in all things that are connected to research and development, innovation, and technologies. And the main accent in this article is that the American and other companies already found this big secret, that unfortunately the European companies are not that fast. I will try to present a little bit what we are doing in this sense, and then I think we could maybe attract through you as well some more European companies, or especially Slovak companies, because this is what I'm trying to do all the time here in Slovakia, to see and how we can cooperate. Well, let's start about this economic miracle. This is a phrase of our president, Shimon Peres. Actually, what we have to do, and by the way, we have a presentation, but the presentation I'll do it very quickly because you have it, or you're supposed to have it at least, in your materials that you get from this meeting. But the main idea is, as we said, is to look for the solution actually that you never thought about it. That's the main idea. You have 2 possibilities, think about the 3rd one. Now, it's a little bit unusual for me to see the presentation from the back. But let's say, the historical background is important for several reasons. First, as you know, we exist only 64 years. This year we celebrated 64 years of our independence, and the beginning of the country was marked by large waves of immigration. And that's a big challenge for an economy to receive more than 30 or 40% of your population as immigrants. Now, the 60s and the 70s are actually bad years, mainly fighting until the middle of 80s. We reach an inflation that is more than 400%, which of course is a disaster in any economic idea. But actually, I would like to say that the 80s and the 90s are the main years of our breakthrough. For 2 reasons. First, in the 80s is economic stabilization. The inflation drops down, the investments are going up. And in the 90s, very important issue is actually the immigration from former Soviet Union, which means this immigration brings more than 20% of our population and a large wave of scientists and technicians that come with the way. The second factor in those years, especially in the 90s, is the beginning of privatizations, beginning of large liberalization of economy, and active foreign trade policy. Now, just a few indexes, just to compare the size. You can see we are half size of Slovakia, and the problems we have is, no not enough agricultural land, not enough water, not enough energy, not enough, I would say, well, we have quite a lot of security problems, as you probably read in the newspapers all the days, and the difficult economic situation at the beginning. Now, what do we have? As I said, something that actually goes to that. The only natural resource we have, except some natural gas that we found a year ago, so it doesn't count, but the only natural resource we have is human brains. And that's what we have to work with our natural resources. Now, let's see the indicators just for you to see. As you see, despite of the crisis, for example, in the year 2011, our growth is almost 5%. When you ask why, the major answer would be technology-based products. We are a country, we're an exporting country. Our population is too small to create a large market, internal market, so most of our economy is based on exports. Now, as you can see, well, the entrepreneurial culture, creativity. This is, we will speak about it, but the main issue here is written higher education, and it's a little bit connected. You said when we speak about let's say our budget, how we spend our budget, and it's a little bit later. You will understand what we're talking about. But here I would like to a little bit to brag, I would say. And you see the list, very nice list that we have 3 universities in top 100. We're #1 in the world in research and development, #1 in national expenditure on research and development, #1 in the world, I speak about, of course, in startups per capita. We're #3 in NASDAQ. Many people ask why it's important. You know, here in this forum, I don't have to understand why it's important to be a big player in NASDAQ. Actually, as a player, we are bigger than whole Europe. We are bigger than China. We are bigger than India. So that's an important indicator for us. We are #4 in number of patents. Again. And especially in number of scientists and technicians. Now, this is a very nice one. It's how it all connects. Actually, I will not go too much through it because the idea is, our idea was, we want to attract big companies, global high-tech companies, to work with us in Israel. So we have different stages to do it. Existing technology, we have the community, the specialist community, we have the government support, and in a moment I will speak about it, and we have the entrepreneurs, and we have the universities. So this is, I would say, major factors to, so as I said, I'm going quite fast through this, but because maybe later we'll have some questions. Now, I said we are #1 in the world in expenditure on research and development. As a percentage of the GDP, and we will see it's around 4.5% of GDP. As you saw maybe before, our GDP is $250 billion. You can make the calculations. Now, the budget chapters, this is important. The second budget chapter is education. Now, education is the #2 on our national budget after defense. Of course, our defense budget is the biggest in percentage in the world. It's more than 20%. But the second largest is education. And this is one of the secrets of the issue. Now, government support, we have, of course, incentives and and a special law. And law for encouragement of industrial research and development. Now, venture capitals, we are more than 70 active venture capitals funds in Israel, and then 14 international, and a very tight relation between the business community and the academic research. Now, I would like to stress the composition. You can see we have increase in the R&D in 2011, increase in 2010, but the main issue is the composition, where it goes. And you see 80% of national expenditure on research and development is by the business sector, not the government, the business sector. Number 2 is universities. Number 3 only is government sector, and it's only 4%, and then number 4 is non-profit organization, some kind of research funds and so on. But and many ask, well, how come in times of crisis the government or institutions can actually increase the research and development? And the answer is very simple. It's the decision on your priorities. You have to make the priorities and decide what is important. We decided that research and development actually brings money. It's not, we don't spend money, actually create money. And when it happens, when you have this decision, you have those numbers. By the way, if you see the last line, 48% of government ministries on research and development, it goes finding mostly the universities. So here we go. This is just to show you how it goes up. We can see 2 points that it actually jumped. In the 99, 2000, it's immigration and of course now 2011, 2012. Now, this is where we are compared to all the world. I'm sorry some people cannot see it here, but I hope we can see that we are number 1. After us, it's Finland, Sweden, Korea, and Japan. OECD is somewhere in the middle, around 2%, and all other countries you can see. This is, as I said, research and development as part of the GDP. Now, we have a government program that actually supports research and development. And this mechanism is through our Ministry of Industry and Trade. In our Ministry of Industry and Trade, we have the Office of Chief Scientist. Again, it's not, I would say, just a governmental person that decides from different, but it's a scientist. Why? Because he has a mechanism, special. I would not go about all the laws that we have, but this person manages all government support on industrial research and development. Why I'm saying especially industrial research and development? Because this is research and development that comes out with a product that you can sell. It's not only research and development on some very important issues that are about the color of the moon in a shady night, which is maybe very interesting, but if it is not a product, it will not be dealt by this office. This office is dealing with research and development that will have a product at the end. That product that you can sell. You can export, you can make cooperation. And this is the main issue about the success of the Israeli startups. This office of the chief scientist is around $400 million a year of money, and it is, you can see what it is doing. It's grant programs and new technologies, entrepreneurship, counseling, and so on. By the way, also international relations, and in a moment I will say something about it as well. Now, you can see the support meter. There are 4 different subjects. It's pre-seed, which means for startups, pre-competitive, which is connecting industry, helping to connect industry with academia, competitive R&D, actually industrial competitive R&D programs, and bilateral or multilateral agreements. Now, here a little bit how it works. When they give the money, if project fails without revenue, it becomes a grant. When it's a research and development, if commercially successful project, grant is repaid by royalties. You see the rate is 3.5%. By the way, we have, as you can see, around 2,000 applications per year. And you can see the sectors. And the biggest sector is communications now, and life sciences, which means biotechnology mainly. So this is a 2 big sectors. But this is the main thing is written down. The government role is to be involved in the risky stage, not market stage. Now, we saw the pre-seed and so on. The pre-seed is mainly, as you see, the incubator programs. We have incubators that actually, we have something like 60 incubators. And you see the programs are 2-3 years per incubator, several companies. The incubator provides, premises, financing, tool, guidance, and administrative assistance. Which means somebody has an idea, he presents the idea to the chief scientist. Chief scientist says, yes, okay, your idea is very nice, I will support you. Go to this incubator, you have offices, you have administrative assistance, you have the money, you have 2 years to come up with the product. If it didn't work, it didn't work. If it works, you will pay us back the money from the profits when you sell the product. Simple as that, and it works. It's, we have, as I said, 26 incubators. As you can see, the incubators are in IT, software, new media, life sciences, diagnostic, biotechnology, medical affairs, and even homeland security. But again, this is the map of Israel and some where are the technological centers, and I will, under the companies that run them. It's just to tell you that the idea is not to put them only in the center of the country, but to spread it all around, to give the opportunity to young business people or young inventors from all around, even remote places, to have the opportunity to do it. Now, this is the competitive R&D. It's the main issue for the chief scientist to support. New development of new products, improvement of existing products, or new industrial processes. This is support for not for startups, but for already established companies that actually do a new product. Now, as I mentioned, international support and cooperation. We have quite a lot of bilateral programs, bilateral and multilateral. We are, of course, participating in all European programs like Eureka and so on. And we have binational funds. This is another issue that we're trying to develop. Actually, we have with several countries. Here are some of them listed. Not all of them, by the way, because we have here we listed the United States, Canada, Singapore, Korea. Well, we have with much more. We have with Argentina and so on. And actually, we are even thinking to sign one with Slovakia, hopefully. Well, I'll say a word about it at the end. Now, this is how it works. Possible, and this is, I would say, a major, for me, it's a major idea. How you can work with Israel. What are the ways? And you can see requirement of local startup, partnership with Israeli companies, investing in Israeli company, corporate venture, incubator establishments. By the way, there are companies in Slovakia that were interested in that as well, and so on. So this is, again, I'm just showing to provoke the interest. Again, I will not, as I said, I will not go to each one. So this is the list of the companies that have centers in Israel, not only cooperating in Israel. Actually, the research and development centers that are in Israel. And you can see, and well, you know, in a moment we'll see some of the products that those companies developed actually in Israel, so you will be surprised that you didn't know about it. Okay, that's a nice idea. Okay, let's do this one. Israel's greatest inventions. I have to, well, as you see on the right side, the cell phone. Cell phone actually was developed by Motorola Center in Israel. First, if you remember the brick, the big one, that one, that was developed there. Now, the USB, they actually call it, in Israel it's just called, by the way, disk on key. Because it came, you know, as a keychain at the beginning for business people to go around. So in Israel it is still called a disk on key. Of course, a program like ICQ, well, we see, well, all the messages that we are speaking about voice over IP, all the programs that you cannot use Skype without all other programs. The PillCow is actually a military development at the beginning. It's our rocket developing institute that developed this camera. It's the gastric diagnosis pill. You swallow it. It goes through every 24 seconds. It makes a picture, and at the end you have the whole system checked. Now, on the right side down here is the Intel processor. This is that, you know, the all your computers that use, starting with I think MMX and all type processors, but research and development of Intel is in Israel. LCD imaging systems, and but not only in, you know, high, very sophisticated technologies. You remember what it is? Everybody eats it. The cherry tomato. Cherry tomato was developed in Israel. Now, again, we were speaking about we have no resources. So, drip irrigation, we don't have water. It's the same thing as desalinization of water. We don't, as I said, well, we have to, our main problem now is not energy, but water. So we have at least two. Drip irrigation is to save water, desalinization is to produce water. By the way, we are now using 75% of all our sewage waters used in agriculture. And the last, well, solar energy, as we are a country that we have quite a lot of days of sun. And the last one is a better place. It's the new idea of electric car with exchangeable battery. Instead of actually, you know, putting it into electricity, you can do that. You go to the stations, and actually there is a machine that You come, it takes out your old battery, puts the new battery, you go. And you pay as a cell phone program. You pay for, you know, number of kilometers you do a month. So those just, you know, some of the ideas to show you what we did. And we are ready to share it with many partners. As I said, we have with Slovakia an idea. Actually, not only idea, we have a draft of an agreement on research and development. I hope it is ready. And I hope that in November, the Minister of Economy, will go to Israel, and together also with the Minister of Education, who signed the agreement of R&D cooperation between our two countries, actually to establish some kind of R&D fund, bilateral R&D fund, to finance projects of the two countries. Start some kind of startups. Now, when I was speaking about cooperation with Europe, we do have a free trade agreement with the European Union, as we have with the United States and with Mercosur, which is the South American Union, economic union. But people sometimes do not pay attention, but Israel is a 3 hours flight away from Slovakia. And sometimes it's much easier to come to us and check what we have, and not to travel far. You know, I have to do some promotion as well. And anyhow, and this would be my closing remark, anything you have an idea, question, or something that you know, had an idea during my presentation or reading the material have about Israel, you are most welcome to contact our embassy. Here is my assistant, Katerina Hladka, who is sitting on the right side. She's dealing with economic issues. And so two of us would be more than happy to help in any question you have later on during this meeting, during this year, during this decade. I won't be here that long, decade. But anyhow, the idea is that when you are thinking about cooperation, think about Israel as well. Thank you very much.